Well, it's not Saturday night at the movies, but if it was, it would definitely be a drama. 15 minutes remain. We are in overtime with Harrisburg City Islanders leading Orlando City Soccer Club 2-1 in the 2011 USL Pro Championship Final. Ken Tomash and Keith Tabachnik with you, along with Jason Arnold from the Citrus Bowl in Orlando, Florida. Orlando in all red. We're moving from left to right across your screen here in the second of two 15-minute non-golden goal overtime periods, and Harrisburg in all white. Angels are all in white, aren't they? There's definitely been one on the shoulder of guys from Harrisburg in this match. Here's Charlie Campbell sending one over the goal.
That's a shame, because that was a good little play, and he had plenty of room to put that dangerous ball in behind the defense. But I'll tell you, Ken, tonight there's so many different elements that have come into this game. With a red card on a goalkeeper, now two top forwards in the league out for Orlando City on subs earlier. But first goal of the year for Lawrence Olam, to kick it off for Orlando, and then JT Noon ties the game with his first goal of the year. You just would not think of these things happen. That's why you say, hey, throw all the stats out the window when the ball starts rolling in a championship game.
Now, we'll see if Orlando can find the equalizer. First, they have to find the ball. Saini Toure knocked that one away from Nelson Becerra. Foul here on Morgan Langley. Joromichak now from the midfield stripe. There's Dennis Chin, who played it back for him. Can Chin score in his third consecutive playoff match? He'd be the big man on campus if he could. Here's Vincenzo Bernardo chasing it down into the corner. He was the fifth substitute for Harrisburg, making his club debut.
Yeah, sorry about that, Ken, but if Chin did, that would be just the way a script would be written tonight here in Orlando. Where all the magic happens, and the local boy would do well. Because you certainly couldn't write this script so far.
Not get it through a pitch meeting, that's for sure. The regular season champions from Orlando finished #1 with a bullet. First season since moving from Austin, Texas. Embraced by this community. Crowd of over 11,000 here tonight. Trying to will their team to the equalizing goal, but Bernardo first gets it to Toure. His goal is the difference at the moment. This one's chipped forward, headed off the bar. Oh, Angulo was right there. That would have capped a Cinderella story and a comeback for him.
That was good composure by Harrisburg around the box as well.
Now, here come the Lions. Olam is calling for the ball, but his opposite number, Stephen Basso, was right there. Look at this at the other end.
Yeah, again, this coming off some really good classing right around the box, clever passing, and here just off the post. And he's had a lot of goals this year, getting on the end of them, and that's one I think he would have liked to have back. Angulo, 9 goals, trying to get his 10th to ice the game.
Well, if this result holds, that will be forgotten in the midst of all this, but this is a match that won't be soon forgotten. Let's go down to Jason from his perspective on the field. Jason?
Yeah, guys, it's fast down here. The ball's moving around quite a bit. Harrisburg's really going to look to try to get the ball and hold on to it. The more they have it, the less Orlando does, and they can hold on to the victory. Guys?
Thank you, Jason. Here is Vincenzo Bernardo working on Luke Bowden.
Jason's comment is exactly right. You have the extra man. Orlando has to come chaser. They got a yellow card there on the foul. And again, good composure by Harrisburg turning back.
Luke Bowden with the yellow.
And then we see here, it's just a good decision turning back here. And,
oh, yeah,
he got kicked there, yeah. A little frustration. And again, that doesn't do anything for the clock for those guys. And
now we will see DeVorn Jorsling, fifth and final substitution for Orlando, and he replaces Lawrence Olam, who thought he would be the hero. Certainly was a heroic goal in the 89th minute. Luke Bowden with the yellow. Olam is off.
Jorsling, the guy, he's played in 16. This is his 17th game right now. He's got 3 goals and an assist. He has a little bit in the attacking part, and certainly, again, the fresh legs needed in the last ones that they have.
Warren Jorsling can score you a goal. He's been known to do that. That's exactly what Orlando needs now. Rob Valentino sends that one long. Here's Jared Thayer. Back to Jeff Blows. Still is calm. 111th minute as he was at the beginning. Morgan Langley is offside.
Well, I'll tell you what, I don't think that was correct. That ball traveled a long way before it got to Morgan Langley, and I was watching right as it was played, and I did not think that he was offside on the pass.
Getting forward again. Jorsling goes down in the box. Everyone on their feet and no penalty call. Oh, and Yordani Alvarez comes in and he knocks over the referee, not intentionally. He was just racing up to him to try to make his presence felt. And we've got Harrison down at the edge of the box.
Well, what happened is Harrison got pushed down intentionally there, and this was Jorsling coming right into the game, and I tell you, he should be sent off. He should be sent off, and right now we got a real problem here because of fans throwing stuff on the field.
Well, Calvano takes Jorsling down. Oh, rough night at the office here late. If you're Matt Pazakos, this is why you get the big bucks. Chase Harrison is down. Things have been thrown out of the stands. That is absolutely the wrong end of the field for that play to have taken place.
No, it is, and you know, and that's got to end. You know, the fans have been fantastic all night, but that just puts a damper on it if they do that. And just, you know, see that now. You know, Chase making a little bit of it, but
sure.
Having said that, you don't go in and do that, and you know that's a booking of some sorts.
It's the frustration retaliation that, and it does not appear. I have not seen a card come out. Doesn't mean we didn't miss it. It doesn't mean it didn't happen, but Warren Jorsling is incensed just into the match. In his first act, he gets knocked down by Calvano, and then he retaliates against Chase Harrison. And Jorsling's now saying they're wasting time.
Well, the time wasting is coming from the Orlando fans. You know, that they have to wait for the bottles to get off. The Orlando fans are the ones that are going to be hurting the time that their team needs right now.
No discipline, it appears. We move on. Neal drops that one forward. Off Charlie Campbell. Can Chin tie it again? Chin is taken down, and now he points to the spot. And a red card.
Oh my, I am not too sure about this. You know, whether it may have been a penalty. I can't see a red card coming off of that because we'll have to have another look at this one. But boy, we talk about a game that has absolutely everything going. Another look. And right there may have been a push. It's a foul, you know.
So it's
close. I'll give the referee benefit of the doubt there as he came in from behind, but I actually think he missed a foul right before that. Basso was in good position, got knocked out of position, and Blows is now out.
So Jeff Blows, who's played so well, is sent off. And Matt Pazakos is going to come over to make sure everyone is. Take a look. Dennis Chin coming in, Blows from behind.
Yeah, I mean he missed he missed the ball, and actually. He really didn't need the foul there. He could have had a slide right ahead of that ball fairly easy. But those are the tired legs that we're talking about as well.
6 yellow cards, 2 red cards, 10 substitutions, 3 goals to this point. Now a penalty kick. We talk about Disney World. This has been an amusement park ride from start to finish. And it'll be up to Lewis Neal.
And again, right before this, Devon Jorsling does something that could have got him sent off by some people as well.
Lewis Neal against Chase Harrison. Neal with the penalty to tie it. And he does. And 11,220 erupt.
And there it is. As they say, it's just not going to end here tonight.
Well, we may see that scenario replayed because in 5 minutes and a little bit of stoppage, we're going to penalties if neither team is able to score. But I wouldn't count out anything at this point, Keith.
Who knows that?
We could see a squirrel. We could see an earthquake. We could see Carmen Miranda come back to life and come out on this. You never know.
Anything in Disney.
They're not going to bed tonight. I'll put money on that. It's a long weekend. Maybe you'll see them on Tuesday at work. And maybe not, depending on what happens here. All right, still about 4 minutes and stoppage left in the second overtime period of an amazing 2011 USL Pro Championship match between Orlando City and the Harrisburg City Islanders. Alvarez plays this one forward, flag is up.
Offside. But even though that was offside, again, those are the passes that Harrisburg, with an extra man before, were not able to stop happening. You know, the entry passes, and this is where I still think they should have put an extra player in that midfield and clogged that up there and maybe kept a defender a little bit deeper to cover for the pace.
Jorsling is offside. One 118th minute. Headed up by Valentino. Back here through the midfield. Basso heads it down. Nelson Becerra. Morgan Langley. Dispossessed. Harrisburg gets it back. Basso now. Angulo's left foot. Headed towards the goal and just wide. Oh, Teray almost.
He almost had that. Was, yeah, just an inch away. Teray just bent the run a little deeper before the cross. And he's coming in right on it. So he's backing away. A tough one to head back across the field. But I tell you, regardless of what happens, I'm going to tell you, I'm really impressed how Harrisburg approached this game, you know, right from the beginning when it was a, 11 aside before anything happened. Beginning of each half, they went right at it, and they certainly didn't come in to try to bunker it in and steal a win. They're trying to earn a win, and either team here has a lot to be proud of, whatever happens.
Nelson Becerra with a long switch. Angulo's calling for it, and the shot will go wide. And Harrisburg's going to try to get a corner out of it, but it's not happening here. Everything you want out of a final, and then some. Sean Kelly sends that one long. 50-50 ball. Basso with an elbow to the back. Dennis Chin. No time to argue about it.
I'll tell you, as good as this game's been, maybe we can get them to stay out there and play a little longer, because this has been entertaining from start to finish.
I think they can hear you. Campbell sets up. Shot and a save made by Harrison off the boot of Chin. He takes a man down. Now we're going back the other way. Whoa, you hear that whistle, you see bodies flying around in the box.
And that was very close to being a legitimate loose ball, and as I said, Harrison had control of it when the ball was kicked out. But a fantastic save by Harrison off the shot. It was a very good opportunity for Orlando there to, we want to say would ice the game, but not today. Anything could still happen. Another minute and a little bit of injury time in this period.
No icing here. This one will be over until the very last gasp. It's Dennis Chin. '20th minute. Jerome Michek just misses the near post.
again, a shot from deep range there. That ball bending away from Chase Harrison, but missing target. And, why not have a go at it tonight? Anything's going to be happening.
1 minute. Of stoppage time. A game you almost never want to end. At least my partner doesn't. Who knows if it will? Will it end here in the final few seconds? Will it end in penalties? If nobody scores here. But here's Morgan Langley. Langley back out up top. Angulo can't get there. Cleared away. Calvano. Will Calvano just have a go from there? He will, and it knocks the player right in the face. Is that Luke Bowden?
Yeah, I think he took that. Yeah, that was an excellent shot. And, Langley turned the corner there and putting the ball back. Angulo did not see Toure behind him. He could have left the ball for Toure. It would have been wide open at the top of the 18, and had a bad touch trying to have a go at that. Now we'll just see just how much more the referee will allow to go after this throw-in.
Jeremichek back up. Throw in for Harrisburg. Basso intercepted. For Donny Alvarez. Here's Dennis Chin. Lewis Neal is open. Slides it forward looking for Chin and Angulo, who tracked back with the final play of overtime. We are going to penalty kicks to decide the 2011 USL Pro Final, everybody. Don't go away. Nobody here has. It's 2-2 going to penalties of the 2011 USL Pro Championship match on Fox Soccer. Stick around.
Rated M for mature.
I can't take it. I can't.
Are smiley, happy dancing games not your thing? Hello, I'm the official spokesman for Rise of Nightmares. No dancing, no happy, bouncy aerobics, just good old-fashioned violence and gore. Rise of Nightmares.
Only on Connect for Xbox 360.
Hey, sport. Still at the office. It's almost the weekend. Don't have to go far, spend much to have fun. I've got hotels everywhere. Go snowshoeing or enter a chili cook-off. Wait, lobster diving. Pow! Pow! Pow-pow! I make it easy. You make it fun. So many super destinations and free breakfast.
We're in the mood for amazing seafood tonight.
Pan-seared just for us. Anybody? You know, sizzling shrimp and scallops.
Perfectly seared tilapia made to order. On an all-you-can-eat dinner buffet.
For around $10. Heads up.
Only Golden Corral would serve up endless made-to-order pan-seared seafood. It's incredible shrimp, tilapia, and scallops with your choice of amazing sauces. All on our endless dinner buffet, still for around $10.
$10? Bam!
Golden Corral. Help yourself to happiness.
You ready? You can do this. Whenever you say it. I can do this.
Go war!
I'm proud of you, Tommy. I haven't forgotten what I promised you.
Warrior, rated PG-13. Sneak previews tomorrow, everywhere September 9th.
Thanks to the Venture Card from Capital One, we get double miles on every purchase. So me and the lads earned a trip to San Francisco twice as fast. We get double miles every time we use our card. I'll take these two, no matter what we're buying. And all of those? And since double miles add up fast, we can bring the whole gang. It's hard to beat double miles.
Whoa, dude.
Get the Venture Card from Capital One and earn double miles on every purchase every day. Go to CapitalOne.com.
What's in your wallet?
A young man with ambition met an old man at the top. Asked him if he had a secret, and the old man stopped and thought and said, free cause that's how it ought to be, my brother. Credit cause you need a loan for one thing or another. Score cause they break it down to one simple number that you can use. Time to take a break cause the name is kinda long. Come in honor of the internet that it's on. Put it all together at the end of the song. It gives you freecreditscore.com.
Offer applies with enrollment in freecreditscore.com.
The 2011 USL Pro Championship will be decided in the cruelest way possible with penalties. And it'll be at the south end of the field. Adrian Heath likes that decision. I'm sure if you're Harrisburg, you don't. But if you're a goalkeeper, if you're that man, Sean Kelly, you love having that sea of red behind you. Look at this. This has been a party all night long here. And they don't want it to end, but it will here with someone, be it that keeper or the other one, Chase Harrison.
We talk about what you dream of as a kid. When you're the reserve, you dream about being in one of this, because your dream ends with you winning the game, making the game-saving stop, and Sean Kelly has that opportunity to do that. But certainly at this end, you know, this is a advantage to Orlando for sure.
The long walk from midfield. Nelson Becerra walking right into the jaws of the monster. Sean Kelly, he's saying you can be louder than that. Now, what's the strategy here in terms of picking your five very quickly?
Well, it's got to be five guys who want it. It's the number one thing, you know, and it's not always your top goal scorers. I've had some top scorers that's the last thing they wanted to do, and there's some guys that spend all their free time hitting PKs and hardly play, and you know they want to go in there. So it's a first, you already know ahead of time who wants to do it.
Nelson Becerra, first man to step up against Sean Kelly. The whistle. Becerra, stopped by Kelly. Looks as calm and composed as a veteran who's been in here for the entire game, and by this point he nearly has, but watch.
Pretty much, yeah, and that ball not hit well. Becerra, a guy who took free kicks all the time at St. John's University, has scored a ton of goals. And the one from 12 yards out, he could not get a good strike on.
We'll see a second lefty. Lewis Neal. Kelly guessed correctly. Will Harrison, he did, but Neal put it home. Orlando leads 1-0.
Well, you said during the game, may not be the last time you see him take a penalty, and certainly he puts it away very well with authority. Right now, it doesn't matter who got thrown out, whether you're 10 versus 10 or anything, just up to now 4 more guys, each team, up to 4 more.
Jose Angulo, a story of redemption this would be for him. A man whose pro career resurrected in Harrisburg has a chance now to level this penalty shootout, and Kelly stops him again.
That is simply amazing. Sean Kelly came in right off the bat, making a save when he replaced Gallardo, and now 2 saves on the penalties.
And now the league MVP. Only 2 goals on the year. A defensive stalwart, leading the league's best defense that allowed just 16 goals in 24 games. They've allowed 2 here tonight. We're in penalty shootout. It's Alvarez against Chase Harrison. Harrison needs to come up big here. And Alvarez puts it home.
And Alvarez puts Orlando up 2-0 on the penalties, and Alvarez, who, if you looked around, we didn't say his name a whole lot tonight, but he had a big effect on the game because he was one of those guys playing all those entry passes that Harrisburg was not able to stop, that kept opening up their defense even when they were up a man.
So JT Noon, who more than a half hour ago scored in second half stoppage time to send us to overtime, will get a long run up, trying to get his team on the board in the penalty shootout, and he does.
I think Kelly actually got a hand to that as well, going that way. But so I'd say about every 5 minutes in this game, we see this penalty kick put in with authority. Look at touch it a little bit. Every 5 minutes, the potential MVP keeps changing.
The rookie Charlie Campbell, late substitute in this match. Here's Campbell. Harrison's ready, and he skies it over the bar. 2-1 Orlando. And as long as that walk is to get to the penalty spot, if you put it over the bar, it's a long jog back.
It's a long walk back, and you are preying on your teammates right now.
Steven Basso, the fourth shooter for Harrisburg, against Sean Kelly, who has made 2 saves in the penalty shootout. Basso just comes right up and puts it home. 2-2. Orlando will always get the final opportunity. This is the 4th one here. And it is Luke Bowden. Bowden now, yet another lefty. No, we're ready. Now the whistle. Bowden puts it over the bar.
Why would we think it would just be go one way or the other without anything changing? But Bowden and Campbell just tried to hit that so hard.
And appropriately, Saini Toure, the 5th shooter. He may not be the final one, because we are tied at 2 in the penalty shootout to decide the 2011 USL Pro title.
Toure spent a lot of energy tonight.
Toure misses wide and opens the door for Orlando.
Sean Kelly had gone the other way. That side of the net was wide open. Tried to pick out the lowest left, and this is by a foot.
Devorn Jorsling. 3 goals on the year. Came in very late in this match. And it's his opportunity to be the hero. The whistle, Jorsling to win it for Orlando, and he does! The Lions are kings of the league. It was anything but easy. It was everything, including bizarre. And at the end of a long night, Orlando is the champs.
Well, Ken, I'm going to tell you that the Celebrate is going on over the loudspeaker right now, and I think everyone would have expected this to be coming for Orlando before the game, but certainly not in the form and fashion that it happened. This game had everything.
We are going to be back with the presentation of the trophy after this. Orlando is the 2011 USL Pro Championship. Stay with us.